All right, we are live. Welcome to another undeniable success story. I appreciate you taking your time and energy to focus on this call and this recording. I really appreciate everybody who's watching this, all the support that we've gotten. If you have any questions at any time, if you want to reach out, the comment section is there for you. You know me, I don't have people managing my DMs, I don't have people managing my accounts. If you reach out to me, you get me, which I think is really important. So don't be a stranger. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if you need any help. We are here. This one I am very excited about. This person stood out to me from the moment that I met him, that we had that first call. I thought, this is it. This is what I do this for. This is a big portion of my client avatar, the people that I want to help. For so long, I think we all have this desire to help, and we're all developing and growing. And as a mentor, I started out and I wanted to help everybody. And what I realized was I was stretching myself too thin, and I was helping the people that were most resistant to it. And it took me away from the people that really fill me up. And I realized probably about a year and a half in that I have to focus on the people that have their hand out, that are willing to meet me halfway, that are as excited to help themselves as I am to help them, that take the training and the support and the guidance and implement and know that they could do it on their own. I think there's a big misconception that people work with me because they can't do it themselves. And that's what I was starting to work with. And I realized, no, that's not it at all. I want to work with the people that know that they could do it no matter what, with me, without me, but they see the
Mhm.
benefit of working together. They see the benefit of collaboration. They're able to leverage my mistakes and my experience and my wisdom from all these years and speed up the process. Those are the types of people. And when I seen this man and talked to this man, I felt that. I felt that energy again. And I was like, this is going to work. And so from there, I just was so honored to be a part of his journey because of the commitment, because of he just gets the collaboration, he gets the community aspect, and he just implements every day. And so I'm very, very excited to welcome Josh Ramsey. What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm so good, man, and I'm here for two big reasons. One is to give back to you, to share my appreciation to you and what you put together in UCM. And the other one is for the person watching right now, because it was a video like this with David Chang that got me into UCM. I was like, am I? And I watched that video, and there was something about the way that he shared authentically and from the heart that was just, I could see that this wasn't a gag, this was not just a kind of a trip, that there was real value here. And so that's the second reason, and both are equally important, because if you're watching this right now and you're wondering, like, was this real, is this real, like, it is real. Like, guys, listen to me, you can do this, you
I love it.
can do this. And all you got to do is put up your hand, like as JD said. You can either learn from your own mistakes, you can do it yourself, or you can learn from the mistakes that JD, Will, and all the other guys have made, and you just fast track. So it just depends how quickly you want to get the results. And if you want to get the results and you're willing to put in the work, get into UCM. I want to see you in there.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I'm
Let's
excited to
go.
be here, bro. Yeah, I'm excited to
All
be here.
right. Let's make it count. So let's back up. Right. Do you remember when you first found out about the remote high ticket sales space? How long ago was that? Like, bring me back to the very
Yeah.
beginning.
So I put my foot into sales, but the offer was very underdeveloped, and the CEO was basically wanting to carbon copy himself. So I was like a long script, 45-minute script, and I
Mm,
hated it. It was really horrible, and I wasn't good at it. So I thought that sales wasn't for me. I went into marketing, and just being in marketing on a salary, like, I wasn't able to live the kind of spontaneous, state-driven life that I wanted. I just had to go in and do my stuff, and people didn't really care how I felt when I was doing it. It seemed it was more about the outcome, not the process.
mm,
So I knew that sales is where I wanted to go. I almost went with some, we won't mention names. I was looking at programs to
mm,
invest in, and there was a guy that was a young guy selling like a DMs, kind of selling in the DMs model, but being an SDR. I didn't really have an idea. I thought I was going to be an SDR, and then I joined a different coaching program. It was a couple of months before I was thinking of becoming a closer, because I actually landed a marketing role and I needed a strategy. So I bought a masterclass in kind of how to market. And in that community, I met Clive. And Clive was like, dude, I've spent $10,000-$20,000 on coaching. I've done all these different programs. If I could do one, I'd do UCM. And I was like, cool, man. Who is this UCM guy? He introed me to you. We got on a call and you were like, hey, man, what's up? And I was like, how do I get in? And you were like, oh, you want to talk about that? Oh, cool. Yeah. So that's how you do it. And then I had to get a few things in line. And then I invested. 20 days later, I had landed a role.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Clive, it's another person that's been an amazing journey, and so appreciative of him being in UCM. So I guess what were some of the tipping points, or like, one thing I noticed is that you're consistently investing in yourself. I think that's what we first talked about. It wasn't even something that we guided the conversation, but it came up that, last year I invested in this, and then I'm in this mastermind and I'm over here investing.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were in a position where you had, money burning holes in your pockets. It wasn't financial freedom. Like, oh, I'm going to take the 200,000 I have and spread it out. Like, when you're not earning your full potential, what makes you want to continually invest in yourself?
Like, what are we trying to solve for? Like, so much of what I'm trying to solve for is uncertainty. Like, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a provider. I'm trying to solve for uncertainty. Look around in the news. It's uncertainty everywhere. Look in your phone. It's just shifting sands all over the place. And we're looking for safety, right? And people are like, well, if I invest in crypto, or I invest in this, or, if you've got a couple $1,000, where do you put it?
Right.
And I've just seen clear as the day that I am the best place for me to invest. Yeah. You are the best place for you to invest. Your skill sets, your flexibility, your resilience, your responsiveness to your reality, whatever that looks like. And yeah, I think when that tweaked, like when I finally understood that, then it was just a no-brainer. Like I think just on UCM, I'm 3 months from my investment, and I think I'm 4 months from my investment, and I'm 3x on my ROI. Like, wow. What stock? What can you invest in that'll get you 3x return? And don't even worry about the money return. Think about the skill set return. Right. Think about the emotional state. I'm in the best shape that I've been in since forever. I'm gymming every day. I'm tracking my high performance habits. Like, I'm in an elite team of salespeople. Like, you know the drill. We sell what we are, and so I think sales is a beautiful thing, and I think it's completely misunderstood. And when I got on the call with you, like, it's strange. I can even feel myself emotional about it. Like, that's how significant this is for me. Being someone that searched so many different career paths, to get on the call with you and just like situational selling, service-based selling. Like, I didn't think these things existed. Yeah. And when I found them, like, it's like, yeah, just finding the right gear finally, and being like, cool.
Yeah. I think it's so important for a couple of reasons. Like you said, right? If we compare it to, crypto, or investing in an AI company, or stocks, or real estate, right? Like, one thing I've noticed, forget about the return for a second, right? Mm-hmm. Like, just the idea of, these people that invested in some sort of coin, right? They're always like, oh, can I get a little bit more? Can I get a little bit more? When is the perfect time to get out? And the reason that I haven't invested in any of those aspects is because I don't know it. I know myself, right? And two, I always felt like this is a temporary and a timing thing, and I have to devote all my focus and guess when the right time is to get out. And what I realized when I invested in myself, as someone who's invested multiple $100,000 over the last 17 years, I realized that I don't have to get out, that it's compounding interest, and that it's with me forever. The stuff that I invest in today, I'll have 50 years from now. It will
Yeah.
have an impact on my relationships. It will have an impact on my ability to communicate. It will have an impact on my decisions and the way I think. It will affect, even if I wanted to get into investing in myself will make me a better investor, right? And so for me, I think it's so important that we don't fall in love with these trends and hear something that someone made money in this thing and we chase those trends. Really, like the permanency of investing in yourself, the guaranteed returns, and the leverage you have from that last a lifetime. And so I'm a big believer, and I know you are as well. But for anybody listening, whether it's $1, $7, I'm not talking about putting yourself in massive debt where you can't pay your bills, you don't know where your meals are coming from. But if you haven't reached your peak potential, a percentage of what you have, whatever that is, whether it's the resourcefulness, whether it's investing your time. If you don't have the money, invest your time, invest your energy, invest your intention, whether it's grabbing a book, right? Like I remember when I bought Awaken the Giant Within, and I'm like, holy shit, what is this? Right? Like it's just a manual of changing my beliefs, and I can change the facts that were in my mind, and I can bend everything. And I'm like, this was like a $12 investment that I still recommend today, that I still use today, that I still coach elements of that today, right? And it's so huge. I think don't fall in love with the idea that it has to be tens of thousands of dollars if you don't have it. Don't put it off, right? Invest your time, invest whatever resources you have in making yourself a little bit better. I think that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's and I don't know, the thing that comes to mind is like I used to be a gamer when I had more time and I was younger and didn't have a family and stuff. And I was always about like the passive skill points that would just kind of make you epic without having to like know all the spells and click all the right buttons.
Right.
And that's what I feel it is, man. It's like, when I recently stepped my foot back into public speaking, which I hadn't done in a couple since COVID, like with all that travel and stuff.
Mhm.
And when I looked at my old scripts, I could just see the holes in it. Right? I could just see like you're not selling right, you, because you're selling. You're selling a story about why parents need to take responsibility and all the work that I did in that space. And I sat down on the plane flying to the event, and I was just like 1 hour, prayed about it, and I was just like, boom, wrote out a whole new script and killed it.
Right.
And because my mind was in such a different place. So I think exactly what you're saying, like get into the habit of investing in yourself.
Right.
Because that is the habit that changes your vision, your ability to see. Like what I'm aiming at now, 3 months ago, it was like I would never even have thought of it. Like my goals were a whole tier down from where I am.
Yeah.
And now that I've achieved those goals, it's like, okay, well, what's possible now? Like what is actually possible? Like what is actually possible for you right now? You don't know until you're in that habit of looking at the horizon, looking up, like stop looking at the ground, stop looking at the shiny things all around you.
Right.
And like look up far and get in that habit.
Yeah, I think you touched on something too of being able to, how I kind of put it is like the certainty, right? We know it's a psychological need. You need certainty. If you can't hit it at a high level, you hit it at a low level, right? And if you can't hit it internally, you look for it externally. And I think in these times of uncertainty, people tend to drift into more uncertainty. Look at, oh, I've never done this before. Oh, this is new. Oh, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting on a call and I'm not sure what they're going to ask. And when uncertainty hits, we tend to drift and spiral into more uncertainty. I think being able to start and kind of zoom out with like, what am I certain about? Right? In times of uncertainty, what am I certain about? And what I do is I have a talk with my future self. And I don't know exactly what 2026 JD wants. I don't know. Like foresight is not the same as hindsight. Let's be real. But I'm pretty confident that JD doesn't want an extra 50 pounds. Right? I'm sure JD doesn't want, financial disarray. I'm sure JD wants loving relationships and good people around him. Like, I don't know exactly the destination, but I know that it's in this direction. I know that it's forward. I know it's not backwards. Right. And so if you're not sure exactly what it is, maybe you're not sure about remote sales, maybe you're not sure about what those next steps are, start with the foundations of I want to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want to be fitter. I want to be wealthy. I want to be able to communicate. I want to make better decisions. I want to be able to solve problems. I want to regulate my emotions. Start from that baseline. As you know, Charles, that's a big aspect,
Yeah.
right? People think that I'm going to teach them, objection handling on day one, but that foundation of, if you can make better decisions, there's not an aspect of your life that you can't improve. So if you're unsure about the future, start with the things that are guaranteed, that are most certain, that if you do these things, your life will be a better version in the future. I think that's so important. I'm glad that you touched on the certainty aspect. So you join UCM. Was there anything that you were surprised about? Was it exactly kind of what you thought? Was there anything that stood out in the early beginnings?
What I loved about it, it was meta. It was the process of itself taught you what you needed to use to get to the next step, right? You have a herd of people, you have a community of people that are all doing the same thing. They're all reaching out to each other and looking for opportunities, because that's what we have to do. You want to get a job, like, I'm sure you talk about this outside of UCM. I don't think it's news. Like, you have to be you have to reach out to people and ask for stuff, right? There's a whole bunch of people that are like, pick me. And then there's a few guys that are like, hey man, here's why you should pick me. Hey, should we talk about why you should pick me? Hey, what are you trying to solve? Like, and just coming in straight away, like, I had this assumption that my career path wasn't going to lead me to the ideal job that I now have.
Right.
I just didn't see that. How do you connect those two? And then one of the first things that I learned in UCM was, like, to get that ideal role, you have to be credible. What does credibility look like? How do we use your experiences to line up to the credibility that is required? Let's not look at experience is equals this, or this equals that, or this equals that. You don't know anything about the industry. So you come into UCM and hear guys that know the industry, and they say, listen, this is what people are looking for. Hold on. That skill set that you have from running children's little group camps, that's an incredible sales skill set. So let's line up that and that and that. And okay, cool. Now you know how to pitch. Cool. So now you got to get over the hump of actually pitching. Okay. Well, you got, all these UCM members, get a meeting with every single one of them. Like, they want to meet you. You want to meet them. You all need to practice meeting people. So just go for it. And, that's what we did. I think I had 17 networking calls within UCM within, I don't know, it was 2 weeks or whatever it was. It was multiple a day. And then to go from there to, like, reach out to recruiters and reach out to this person, and that, it's not a big deal because you're already doing it every single day.
Right.
You're in the micro habit.
Right.
So that's what I loved about it. It was just very practical, no theory. It was like, just do it. Let's do it now. You're in, do it now, today.
Right. Yeah. I think that's so important too, is the idea of, I tell everybody, I'm taking the calls for UCM right now, and I'm telling everybody you're not going to get paid to be the best UCM student. You don't get paid to show up on the calls. You don't get paid to go through the course. Everything that we do is to inspire action, because a lot of people that are coming, like, we're everybody's second choice, right? For most people, they invest in a program. You luckily kind of navigated through that, but most people invest big money into a program. It doesn't work out. Then it's like, oh, the content really resonates with that, right? It's like, it doesn't make sense day one, but then it starts to make sense as people go along in this journey. They come to us, but they still have that course mentality. They still have, okay, how many modules do I need to go through? Maybe I'll start networking on week 3 or 2 months. I need to learn everything first, and then I need to go do it. And what we believe in is messy, uncomfortable, imperfect action. Everything that we do inspired. You're not going through a course. If you use UCM as a course, you're screwed, right? It's, do I know what to do? If not, reach out. Do I know how to do it? If not, reach out. Is there anything blocking me from doing it? Reach out. And if not, go take the action. Bring us the data. We'll make the adjustments and we'll go. And so I think that's really important. And you touch on something else that I think for people watching is really important, and it's credibility. I think in that same realm of wanting to learn everything first, that's imposter syndrome. That's fear. Let's call it what it is. right? I want to
Yeah.
get good at sales before I get
Yeah. I
good
want
at
to
sales.
show up perfect. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's never going
Yeah.
to happen. It's like, I want to get good at love before I get in love. It's like, good luck with that, man. Like, it's not going to happen that way. But that credibility is really important because imposter syndrome tends to lean your focus in what you don't have, what you don't want. And I seen
Yeah.
it in you very early on, right? Of like, we have a lot of leverage here. There's a lot of life experience, whether it's how you present, whether it's the way you frame the mind, the things that you've been through, your past investments, all of those things, right? It's like we can leverage those things, right? And so I guess kind of expand on that, like, even though you haven't had 20 years sales experience, like, how have you been able to leverage your past experiences and the things that you've been through to resonate in this industry?
Well, I mean, a big piece was through you guys, right? You guys know what recruiters are looking for. You
Mm,
know the qualities of an excellent A team player. And so when we sat in conversation and Will looked at my CV and we had this discussion, you were able to say like, "Hey, man," and again, it comes back to just the transparency and the authentic value. Like if there's authentic value, just show it,
mm,
and then you will be recognized and rewarded. And that's what you did with me. You looked at my life story and you were like, "Hold on, buddy, do you realize that that and that and that and that equals a really good salesman?" And I was
mm.
like, "Yeah, but I haven't been selling for years." And you're like, "Well, that doesn't matter because you just haven't been in an offer, or you
Right,
haven't been, you can't say like I've sold $100,000 worth of product or $1 million
right,
worth of product or whatever
right.
the case was." But that's another way of saying the same thing that you can say using these experiences that you have. um, and I think similarly to those of you that are watching that are like, "Well, listen, I'm not 38, so I'm 38, which obviously I've got some life behind me." But if you're a youngster coming through, then it's about understanding the mindset that you need to be in, because recruiters are looking to invest in mindset and culture. They're looking for culture fit. Like, and
Mm,
just as you just said, JD, like it's not a skills training in the form of like you got to know all this theory, you got to do that, da, 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 da. Because each offer has a sales training program. They have a
right,
process of like, here's how you sell our thing, right?
right,
And if they don't, maybe that's not the offer you want. Maybe
yeah,
you do want to be in a startup offer. It just
right,
depends what you want. But
yeah,
yeah, I think you guys were able to give me the confidence to expect more for myself.
mm,
And
I
that's
love it.
why I came in being like, cool, I'll be an SDR for 6 months and maybe I'll get an opportunity. And then it was like ideal role offers, was on the table. And I jumped at it and I got through the one interview and then talked to you guys, got to the next one, talked to you guys and then landed it. And then
Right,
yeah, I've been studying for 3 months. That's the
yeah,
that's the fact. I've been in remote closing for 3 months, and I'm in my ideal role, and I'm pushing towards the kind of 10K income goal, and you can do it too. Like
beautiful.
you
I love
listening
it.
to do it right now. Yeah,
I love it. And I think it's also another important feature is like the economy doesn't give a shit what you don't have. Right? Like the example I always use, imagine you walk into my bakery and I'm like, "Oh, Josh, we don't sell bicycles here. We don't do steaks here. We don't have medical supplies." You'd be like, "What is this? What is this guy doing?" Right? But that's what remote salespeople do. "Oh, I can't work full time. Oh, I
yeah,
don't have 20 years experience. The economy does not care what you don't have. You
yeah,
leverage your resources. You sell what you have. And if someone's looking for 20 years experience and that is their number one, they don't want anything else, they're not buying you. Move
yeah,
on. Right?
yeah,
I think it's the idea of people try and go through this without, like, I don't want to reach out if I'm going to get rejected. I don't want to put my
yeah,
name in the hat if I'm going to do this. People are too hesitant, right, on that, like throwing their name in, knowing that like it's either a yes or a no. Just like on a sales call, I don't get to be like, "Oh, I don't know if I should take this next prospect call because
yeah,
what if they don't buy?" We know this,
yeah,
right? So when you're selling yourself, you have to understand, it's just like dating or anything else. When you ask someone out and they say no, it's just it's just not a fit. It doesn't reflect that you're a horrible person or you're not good enough or whatever insecurities we all have. It's just there's not an alignment there. So go find the people that value what Josh has. Go find the people that value what Alan has. Go find the people that value what you have. And if that's time and a crazy work ethic, go sell that. If that's, the ability to learn quickly and integrity and team effort, just go sell that, right?
Yeah.
Everything is sellable in the economy. You need to learn how to communicate it, and you need to be accepting that you don't need 100 offers. That's the beautiful thing about it, right? You need one, maybe two. Some people go crazy and get three, but like we're talking about $1 billion a day industry. What percentage of that do you really need? Such a small percentage. Why would you throw yourself off by thinking that you need everybody to say yes to you, right? So I think that's so important. So I guess moving forward, like what would you say to anybody that is considering investing in UCM, maybe a little bit hesitancy, maybe they've been through another program and they're like, I want to invest in myself again. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, maybe we split them up. If you've never invested in yourself, I think the big thing that you have to look in the mirror and accept is that you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how many dream offers there are out there for you. You don't know what it is that's inside you that the market wants. You can figure it out, no doubt. No doubt. If you're looking into sales, you're the kind of person that will figure it out. But time is the one thing you can't get back. I would say if you have money in the bank right now, that money is not as well spent as where it could be if you were investing in yourself. Because right now, it's just a number in a bank, and that's where your safety is. That bank gets hacked, another war breaks out, that money's gone. But if you walk around with that value inside of you, then I would say you're in a much better position. And my number one place that I would go if I wanted to get into sales would be UCM. Now, just speak to the other person that's been burnt before. Get on a call with JD. You know what it's like to get burnt. You've got that experience. Get into a call with JD and push him, prod him, ask the questions. See the difference. Like, don't trust me just because I'm saying it, but don't let yourself say, yeah, but he's just another, and it's just another, and that guy, it's fake backgrounds, and it's a fake this. Like, put your skin in the game to get in a call and find out for yourself. Don't take my word for it because you've already been burnt. So just get in a call and ask JD.
I love it.
Prod and see the holes. Like,
yeah.
And then the final piece of that is don't blame JD, because I think JD, you probably pick up a lot of projection of people blaming. I mean, you probably don't know about it because they'd never reach out and tell you, because that's not how this game works. But they'd be like, "Oh, he's just another one of da da da," and that's you watching this right now. That is you justifying your inaction, and that is never going to get you to where you need to be. So take an action, either join or get on a call and grill JD or whoever else you need to get on a call with. Okay,
please
take 100%. Action. Just get it.
100%. I love it. Yeah, and I think there's no courage necessary to just paint everything as a scam, right? You see people, especially like on the Reddit universe, and it's a scam, that's a scam. Every mentorship, every training, everything's a scam, and it's very easy to say that, right? Like, I heard my uncle got scammed by this. The whole industry is a scam. Understanding it's sales done remotely, right? That's it. It's not this weird universe, right? The same principles apply. We teach success principles. They work here. It's sales done remotely. You may find someone who is misleading. You might find someone who has a lack of integrity. But I think the more you're critical and skeptical, right? Watch, like if you get on a call with me or anybody else, it's okay to be skeptical. It's actually a good thing. Right? Skepticism is very misunderstood. It's basically challenging what is usually accepted. It used to be a philosophy back in the day, and that's a whole nother story. But watch how the person responds. If they try and convince you, if they try and conflict, if they represent the yes, right, then that tells me that there's something behind there. If they get on your side, and we look at this objectively. If they tell you, I don't know if you remember, but one of the first things I told you on our calls was everything I don't do well. Why you probably wouldn't join. What are the things that, I'm not the classic, here's your script sales trainer. If that's what you're looking for, I have some suggestions. This is not, a modular course. Here's the reasons why someone wouldn't want to work with us. Like, I think so often we get on calls, we buy the dream, it's not delivered, and then we were like, oh, we were scammed. But you bought the marketing. The marketing, right? If you want to find some lies, all you got to do is look in marketing, right? What you're buying is the delivery. What you're buying is the connection. Make sure that you're asking those tough questions and see how the person reacts to that. See how quickly they try and dance around it, or are they accepting of that? Do they kind of accept those things? Do they play around with those ideas? Do they tell you their limitations? And I think that's so important. But everybody has been burned before. Everybody's misstepped. You have to ask yourself, like, no, Josh wasn't super excited about giving me money, right? He wasn't like, I can't wait to empty my bank account out or give you this, or, that wasn't the thing. No one wants to spend the money, right? That's not it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to invest. Of course, no one does. I don't want to invest. Josh doesn't want to invest, right? We want the results. We want the time. We want the support. We want the movement. We want to build our dream life and make it a reality and not see a difference. So if you're here, of course you don't want to invest. Of course you don't want to pay money. But are you 100% confident that you can do it as quickly alone, or that you can do it at all alone? Or can we do it faster together? Because every month that you don't do it, there's an opportunity cost. I think that's so important. Any final words before we take off?
Final word is, don't let time slip through your fingers waiting for a perfect solution. There's a tool in front of you right now that might not be the best tool. Maybe you spend 6 months searching around, you find a tool that is at a lower price point, or a different price point, or a different this or different that. But there's a tool in front of you that is great. And the world is looking for great action, not perfect inaction. So just stop letting time slip through your fingers and get going.
I love it. I love it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Josh, I'm so proud of what you've accomplished in such a short period of time. I'm so honored to have you as a part of UCM. I know that we're a couple months in. It's nothing, right? And you've already produced such great results. You're already 3x your investment in UCM, and I feel like we've just scratched the surface. I'm so excited to be part of the next chapter. I feel like, we have a long relationship ahead, and so many impactful things. I appreciate you taking your time to share your message and your journey with us.
Man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Awesome. I love it. Anybody, you need anything, just reach out. I'm here all the time. When you reach out, you get me. So have a great day. I appreciate y'all. Take care.